Episode 3 of this session of Poker Time. It's a 5-10 cash game. And as you see, Ken has raised it up to $35 here with Big Slick.
This is a really abrupt beginning. I don't know if I'm ready. Like, I feel like I didn't get my prep time. I didn't get to look at the Nitrogen Sports logo. Oh.
But it doesn't matter how
got
ready
the
you
aces.
are. No one cares how ready you are because we got a big hand developing
He's about
already.
to laminate the shit out of Ken.
Ken puts in the 4-bet and he's in trouble.
Ken is getting lemon roasted.
Ken sometimes just decides to go with hands, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of them here.
Well, with the...
Laminator does move in.
I don't know if Ken can fold with how much he's put in.
He's already called.
That was kind of a tournament play from Ken.
Ken, I think, by the way, can fold ace-king there when he makes it 450 and gets 5-bet all in for 1.8K effective.
Laminator is not really one to just go with monster bluffs. Doesn't seem like...
Not that I'm aware of. Anyway, he's not Marty. Anyway, Laminator, unbelievably great here. It's going to take running kings.
Drawing dead right now.
Now drawing dead.
Yeah, maybe Ken didn't notice that Marty was no longer in the seat. He's like, everybody's in that seat, plays like Marty. Ace King is more than good enough to go with 180 blinds against Marty.
I don't hate the 4-bet by Ken, but I think when you're 5-bet with the Ace King, you really have to think about, and you're in your spot where you have to call it off. You can't like 6-bet all in even. You have to think about what hands are doing that. And if Laminator's not the kind of guy who's going to do it with a weak ace, sometimes you're not beating anything.
Right, and he's probably not even doing it with queens.
I don't know if he's doing it with queens, but he's not doing it with Ace Queen. So Ace King is praying for a flip. And often is not flipping, as you're saying, because I don't know. Queens may be the bottom of his shoving range there. Well, and it may not be in the shoving range.
I have that reputation. It's okay. Monster. It's okay. I know my reputation. I think you owe me.
Well, the empty seat of Ken, I guess, will be filled by Ken once again. It's going to be all Ken all the time.
No, I was like, oh, he has aces too. Then I saw the king. I was like, wow, really? That fast?
Generally, the empty seat of Ken is filled by Ken.
Yeah, Ken doesn't really give up.
Maybe he went to find his next of Ken. Yeah, I did that.
Damn, that was good.
That was pretty good. Batiste opening under the gun with the ace-3 off.
As we've said in earlier episodes, Batiste visiting. We remember he often opens it up a little bit as the session goes on. He likes to play a lot of hands.
The Genie. Guess he wants someone to rub him the right way with that ace-3 off. Maybe he looked down and saw 2 black cards and thought they were suited. Anyway, he is ahead right now.
Are you adding the Christina Aguilera song to it?
Yeah, I was throwing it all in there. I was combining stuff. Well, he flops a gutter. He's got the best hand.
He checks like an angry man.
He likes doing that.
Stewart could bet this. It's all over his range.
Short hands is probably just a little too good to bet, though.
I don't know. When Batiste is checking back, I think it's not.
It's a small pot.
It is.
Batiste is also the kind of guy who checks to call a lot in these spots. Not always.
But you're the guy who says every pot matters equally.
Yeah. But you can't win them all.
But that one Stewart could have.
Maybe not.
I'm going to go with yes, he could have.
On the turn, you think he can win? I don't. On the 7 pairs?
I think he can win.
I mean, I guess there's sizings that he could choose that would win.
150.
Into 75?
Yeah.
I think Batiste calls faster. Anyway, the problem with genies, genies especially, but any kinds of genies, is they offer you wishes, but it looks like where Batiste is not. It says the vig is under the gun, but Batiste is actually under the gun. It looks like, yep, our graphics guys are figuring it out or not at all. Anyway, let's not worry about it. We know Batiste opened with some cards, and it looks like Laminator's 3-betting again.
And he's probably got a hand.
Well, here we go. Batiste with 7s. Let's see what Dan called with maybe at some point. Digital Dan calling with the ace-queen suited and Laminator with ace-king. Good spot for the Laminator. Dan's going to have to call, and you can see he does in the corner of the screen. There we go.
Good flop for 7s, but it's kind of scary against Laminator's 3-betting range still.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good flop for ace-king with the ace of diamonds, too. I think this is a pretty easy continue for Laminator. It's 200 into 390, and Batista's got a problem with Dan behind him.
Dan's got plenty of pocket pairs better than 7s in his range.
He certainly has 8s. He could have 9s. By the way, he could have 3s and 5s also.
Could have 10s.
I don't see how Batiste continues here reasonably, even though he rates to have the best hand some of the time. But he does continue. This makes it an easy decision for Digital Dan.
Well, maybe Dan's Is he falling asleep?
It looks like he's asleep.
Is he actually
Wait,
asleep?
no, he's smiling. He's smiling. Is he thinking about making a move?
Is he like a dog dreaming about playing with the ball or something?
He must have been. Maybe he was thinking about how he has some sets of 5s and 3s there, and maybe could rep them.
Maybe.
It would have worked. I assume. All right, Laminator picks up some gutter outs. I would like to see him continue here.
I don't think he's going to, based on historically seeing him play.
Batiste with 1.2 back, bet of about 400 or 350 even. Sort of a committing. Looks like you're committing Batiste, the rest of Batiste's stack. You wouldn't actually have to be, of course.
What I thought it was.
A lot of times players are going to check here. I'm not saying it's crazy to check by any means. He's really thinking about this one.
I think he's like, I know I'm not supposed to give up, but I just really want to give
Yeah,
up.
and there you go. He let the full 30 seconds go and then gets the check, but gets there.
Easy life. Batiste is going to make the Batiste face, right? We're going to get to see some Batiste face?
Well, Batiste knows now he's beating essentially nothing.
Right, but he's going to make Batiste face.
Probably. Laminator should bet. I assume it's going to go bet fold anyway, so Batista's never going to know where he was. He's going to assume probably he's up against Ace-King, though, and he'll be right.
And he'll make Batiste face.
This is a great card to bluff, of course, if you didn't have it, but Laminator's usually going to have a hand he can bet the turn with.
Yahtzee. Got him. All right.
There it is. Batiste shake of the head. Sort of a monkey's paw situation here for Batiste, you know. You want him to not hit his overcards, but you didn't say don't hit the straight.
Nailed
you know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Monkey's paw, you with me?
Monkey's paw, yeah.
Yeah. You say you want your son, you want to see your dead son again? Sure, but he comes back as a zombie trying to eat you. Monkey's paw.
Monkey's paw. Just say that all the time.
Just, you know, be careful what you wish for, I guess is my point. Batiste.
You're teaching him valuable lessons.
I'm teaching everyone valuable lessons today, and I feel great about it. This episode and every episode, Poker Time, for the last long time, brought to you by Nitrogen Sports. Poker. They sport poker.
It's true.
Come sport poker with us at Nitrogen.
You can sport other things too there.
Yes. Yes, you can. Here's the VIG now, truly under the gun.
Oh, you're going to see it.
With the James Bondian 7-4 suited, if indeed that's what he had.
I don't think it is.
It was 6-4 suited then?
6-5 maybe?
No. It was definitely like a connect.
We did a whole video on it.
It was like a 2-gapper. I think it was 7-4, but it could have been 6-4. I guess it could have been 7-5. It was definitely not 6-5 suited. It wasn't nearly that good a hand. But he's very upset, throwing the cards away because he had Jack Deuce and was in the big blind. I guess.
It's a rough life, man.
Clearly, that's residual.
When Marty
pain.
McFly is raising your blind and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, residual pain from the pocket sevens hand, I assume.
Yeah.
He did put in $300 and got to lose.
You saw Dan with a little glass there. Laminator's got the table drinking.
That's classic Laminator.
I mean, every time.
That corner of the table's pretty happy.
Yeah, they're the drunk corner.
Ken WA with the raise on the button.
Ken WA. That is that's pretty good. Ken with attitude.
Is that Batiste with the 3-bet?
Looks like a 3-bet, yeah.
Digital Dan's gonna go wee all the way home on this one, I think.
I feel like you're not. I feel like you're not really trying that hard. You're just saying whatever comes out of your mouth, and just like, oh, just we'll go with it. I'll mix my metaphors and my stories. Dan's considering this.
Dan's gonna fold. Dan considers a lot.
Maybe if he had one more drink,
yeah,
he would have called.
He's just like, whoo, got that one through, and he's not. I would often assume Batiste was faking it when he did that, but that was real.
Yeah.
A lot of players fake it when they, get a squeeze through with a big hand. They pretend like they didn't have it.
Yeah, they want to make you feel bad.
Yep, it works.
Jonathan is just so sad in the corner, having folded his Jack 10 suited or whatever it was.
Yeah. Another way to make me feel bad when I fold after you squeeze.
Slap him afterwards.
I'll just say my father never loved me.
Well, yeah, any sort of truth like that.
Yeah.
But you could also slap him. and I highly recommend it.
Some people like being slapped. Grant.
Do you?
It depends on how hard it is.
Okay, cool.
Joseph gonna play this hand and gonna
Looks
play
like
it
he's
for a raise.
Coming in for a raise.
Stewie McFly
is doing something. He's calling with queen 9. Oh, I thought it was offsuit. I don't know why. My brain is broken.
Even so, this is an unusual call for Stuart.
Yeah, you'd think he would 3-better fold.
He usually just throws it away. Well, we're going to see a million players in this hand.
Yep, we got deuces and 3s in here. We got 4 deuce for Laminator.
Stuart's got the 9 dominated of Joseph, but his queen is dominated by Batiste. All sorts of craziness. There's only 1 deuce left in the deck for Digital Dan.
It's like a house of mirrors.
That's all. Well, it's 2 spades,
2
actually.
spades for Laminator, and that's the person who feels best about this flop.
Yeah, a jack for Batiste. That's it.
I mean, there's gut shots out there.
Yeah, that's true.
2 gut shots.
Well, Joseph better not hit his.
Or else. Monkey's paw.
I mean, it sort of is a monkey's paw spot, actually, for Joseph, hoping to hit his.
That's going to make Batiste feel a little better about his hand, that ace.
Joseph's going to feel a little better about his hand. Now he's got a combo draw.
True.
I would expect Joseph to bet if given the opportunity. But Laminator might bet first.
Do you like how Dan's face is entirely obscured by the cards?
I love it.
I love it too.
He's never looked better.
That's like Warhol. All right, so Dan is going to bet his deuces here.
Wow.
He's just taking a shot.
Well, he's not going to fold out. Well, I mean, 160 with the 4 high flush draw is going to be a very questionable call, I think, for Laminator, especially on a paired board.
I can see a world where Laminator calls and this goes check on the river and Dan wins with deuces.
I could also, from Laminator's point of view, though, he can get raised. I like this fold a lot.
Yeah, it's a good fold, especially in his position. Maybe if he was last to act, he could consider it.
Now, Joseph, I'm a little surprised, is going to fold.
Yeah, I mean, it is an ace that paired. It's a little bit of a precarious situation.
It is, and you don't have the nut flush draw or anything. Still, I would have expected him to find a call with the better flush draw and also the straight draw.
It looks exactly like Batiste has a jack here, right? So Dan's question to himself must be, can I get Batiste off a jack on some rivers?
From Dan's point of view, any club, any spade is probably worth betting. Oh, that's
a good card, actually.
For Dan?
For him to rep if he wants to.
Because
he could bet an 8 for value now. Whereas he might have bet an 8 on the turn, and he can now bet an 8 for value on the river because Batiste doesn't really have many aces in his range.
I think you're overestimating how often he's going to bet an 8 on the turn with all those players, though. I don't think it's that likely Dan's betting many 8s.
Batiste is now in the
look at the faces.
Nape of sadness. The nape of sadness.
He's getting a good price. Realizes he can beat both flush draws. It's not a great spot. He has a spade and he lets it go.
Dan, show the nut low. Show him the nut low.
Dan apparently chooses not to. He's going to get there quietly.
Because he's digital. He experiences no joy from showing up people such as Batiste, even Batiste.
I remember him experiencing some joy showing up many years ago, a man named Snuggy.
Well, yeah, Snuggy deserved it.
Batiste bluffed. I'm playing the board. Oh, I guess he did show it because he just said, I'm playing the board.
Oh.
We didn't see him show it.
So he's putting Batiste further into the nape of despair.
Indeed. Well, it's got to hurt for Batiste, but all he had was a bluff catcher.
People don't use the word nape enough.
Nope.
I'm glad you agree.
They don't use the word diaspora enough either.
Well, I challenge you to use it correctly.
Yeah.
With purpose in this episode.
Okay.
The Vig with a big hand here. Usually he limps his big hands, but he is on the button this time. It's a little different. Not as many opportunities for people to raise behind him. And Dan is lucky he decided to just call here. He could have easily 3-bet.
Yeah, I would have expected him to, even, and might have gotten blown off the hand.
As it stands, he's probably not going to put another chip in this pot, but Laminator certainly will.
Yeah, spades for Laminator. Once again, babyish spades for Laminator.
Can we call him Baby Laminator?
I mean, I'd like to. He calls quickly. Vig should feel pretty good about this spot. There's a lot of bad turn cards, though.
Yeah, you don't want any 9, 10,
even
7.
A queen you don't love.
You don't love a queen.
That's a great card, though.
Laminator picks up a pair to go with his flush draw.
This is, I think, a very easy continue on the turn here for the Vig. He is the Vig right now. He's charging, and Laminator really has to call.
Too loud over there.
You're going to try to laminate this guy.
Sevens, threes, and spades. There it is.
That's the best way to get there, too.
Yep.
It's the least expected. You would never put him on a 3. Queens feel very good on this board.
Absolutely.
I think this is a nice spot for a check raise, actually.
Check raise isn't crazy. He's going to lead, though.
And he's already been called, I think.
Those that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I think a lead is fine, too.
Get some of that.
Wow, dude. All right.
You didn't believe it.
Well, Vince, looks like the Laminator really laminated his opponent this time. Went straight to Kinko's, laminated the crap out of him.
Looks like his opponent will not be in any way deteriorated by the weather.
Except over the course of many years if left outside.
LA snap call.
Lucky, yeah. Oh my God.
They don't know.
They don't know what it stands for.
They're gonna know.
Before you categorize the big as a
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Wow. Not committed.
He's probably a lot nicer than most John Wick villains,
Well,
having
the John
spoken
Wick
to
villains
the...
are like trying to kill puppies and stuff.
Not all of them. Some of them, honestly, are just caught in the middle. You know, they're just doing a job, and then their boss's son kills a dog sometime, and now John Wick's killing like 70 flunkies whose job is to like drive people somewhere.
Yeah.
They're not all bad dudes. Some of them have got a kid in college, and they're just trying to get their, get the kids' books paid. But they're dead now too.
John Wick doesn't care.
No, I know. You killed his dog.
Yeah.
Put him on tilt.
25. Maybe you need the hat.
It's like Ken's gonna bet his 2 3s on this
How
board.
did that movie get so popular? Anyway.
Laminator's gonna call with an unknown hand here.
Yeah, Joseph, let's go with bottom pair. And Joseph, to his eternal sadness.
It's not the best way to make 2 pair with the straight and flush both coming in.
Nope. Especially now that Ken makes
Well,
the
Ken
flush.
has a flush. We're not sure what Laminator has.
Laminator puts in a small bet. That's usually a blocking bet for Laminator, and
I would guess he's got like the 7 of
he
hearts.
can have he can just have a pair or a heart. Looks like he had like 2 pairs or something. Oh, 9-10 for the straight.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you can just check there if you have 9-10 and fold if Ken bets.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. This is the anti-bluff measure from Laminator. By the way, the fact that he only bet 10 can't be too bad. Right? You got to see the river for. Or got
I don't
to
know.
See, get a showdown
You
for
can't
$10.
even get a Subway sandwich for $10. That's too much for a Subway sandwich. So I think that's enough money that
Well,
you should care.
I mean, you can get a Subway sandwich for $10.
well, yeah,
Of course,
if,
what you
on like
mean.
the secondary market,
What?
like somebody has already bought it and they're like $10 Subway sandwich. Because if you go to Subway, you can't pay $10 for a Subway sandwich.
I mean,
It's
you can, and then they'll give you money back, right? They'll be happy to accept your $10, give you a sandwich, and give you things in addition to the sandwich, right? So
That's
when you're
true.
saying you can't get a sandwich, you mean you can.
what I'm saying is, none of them cost that much,
that's correct,
except on the secondary market.
right? And a place where people are very hungry.
You gotta look down. You gotta learn. All the answers are
I missed it.
in your lap.
Nice looking hand for Batiste here.
You know, Batista reminds me of all the players who played on Poker Time who no longer playing because they're in different parts of the country. You have like Johnny Vibes. You got the other vloggers like Matt Vaughn all the way in Baltimore. We have a wide diaspora of players.
I was like, this is pointless. What are you talking about? And
Wide diaspora of players who've once been on the show and currently are not.
I mean, I feel like you didn't quite complete the assignment.
I mean, come on. That's pretty good.
Because it wasn't something that you would normally say, and it wasn't even funny or good.
You didn't say normally say. You said with purpose. Batiste is here from across the country. It made me talk about other guys who are around. Come on.
All right.
That is amazing, and you know it.
I should have. It's not amazing.
It's
and I should have
amazing.
put in the qualification that you must say something that the audience actually wants to hear.
Well, yeah, that would make it much harder.
Because
Obviously.
I'm pretty sure the audience was just falling asleep like Digital Dan while you were saying that.
They were probably listening, thinking, "Where's he going with this?" And then they got a nice,
And then they
little,
were very
a
disappointed.
nice little chuckle.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're
Anyway,
enjoying themselves.
Digital Dan raising it up with the 10-8 suited. Looks like Ken is coming along here.
It's fine in the big blind, I suppose.
No, you can't, is what some people would say to ace-9 off, but most people would call there.
You're really nailing these Ken.
I'm working the
things.
Ken stuff. Digital Dan hits top pair, and that is the best of it.
It is. Not much for anybody else. Ken's got the ace of hearts, but
It shouldn't be enough. Ken will often call in
that's
these
a hope and a
spots.
prayer. Dan is checked according to the. Nope, looks like no.
Dan is thinking. Dan should bet. We're 4 ways.
Dan should absolutely bet.
Dan is betting. Ken will call a lot here. in the past.
Last episode, we saw Ken call with ace-9 of diamonds on like an all-black board when somebody bet into 5 players.
Yeah, so
it was weird.
With the ace of hearts in his hand, with 2 backdoors, he's often going to call. But no, not this time.
I don't see why
he's
he
not
would
feeling
call
it
the last time and not this time.
Well, he's got his reasons.
Hey, we got a new player here. That's Tim, who just sat down in place of Peter. Very similar look to Peter. You might be confused and think, hey, isn't that Peter?
I don't think people are going to think that.
They both have beards.
Yes. But, you know, no one thought Marty and Joseph were the same.
Because they're both bald?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're next to each other. You can tell that they're different.
Also, Joseph is like 6, so tall. So tall.
You always way overestimate height one way or the other.
Joseph? Okay. First of all, I don't at all. But if I was,
don't at all.
Let me finish. Joseph is probably... And I'm not perfect with height by any means, but I'm going to guess Joseph is like 7 foot 4 inches.
He's only 7'1".
Oh. Do you actually know that, though?
Yeah. No.
He is tall.
He's not 7'1". I would guess he's 6'2".
Yeah, that sounds about right. Jesus. He's 6'2", and he's got something that makes him feel tall. Something to put... get his flag all the way up the staff. Anyway, little ace queen.
He has ace queen.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that.
Batiste's definitely going to defend with this hand.
His flag's at half mast with this hand.
Currently.
Am I right?
Let's see if it stiffens up. Nope.
Yes.
Yep.
This is almost a bit of a cooler.
Yeah.
This
flop. This is a fun little flop.
Batiste could raise. He could call.
I would not. Okay. I think it would be fine for
Joseph
Batiste to raise.
checks it back.
Wow.
That is tricky.
Oh well. Joseph's going to probably save himself some money by checking it back.
Well, he's going to have to pay off now that he's checked back.
Of course. But he was going to probably pay off 2 bets anyway, ultimately. 2 streets of value were going to be had here. And possibly 3 if Batiste had led the turn. Also, Batiste could have check-raised the flop, and it could have gotten real ugly for Joseph.
Joseph might fold a turn if he calls the flop and then the spade comes.
That's true. Batiste, this is just going to have to go bet call.
Yeah, I mean, Queen-Jack got there, too. There's no way Joseph can raise.
Seems really hard to raise.
I think Batiste should go big, though.
Looks like he agrees with... Whoa, he went 300. That's too much.
Joseph just folded quickly.
Too much.
It's like no decision for Joseph there.
Yeah.
Just fold top.
Batiste maybe trying to get value out of Queen-Jack exactly. It's hard to even put Joseph on it. A queen. Maybe you thought Joseph could have jacks based on how he played it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And so he's trying to get full value from jacks. But there's so many other hands Joseph could have, and you can't get value from there. Anyway, Joseph folded that so fast. We've sometimes been critical of Joseph's folds over the last few years, but that was impressive.
Medium high spade, and I peeled the turn. I couldn't call.
It's got a different type of good hand this time.
Raise 40. Fold. Call.
To 3-bet or to call. It's got to be all Batiste is thinking about here. And here's Tim.
Here he is.
Tim looks like a cleric.
I can see that.
Yeah, from D&D. That kind of a cleric. I don't know about other clerics, but...
Pretty good flop for Jack 10 here.
Yeah.
Batiste with 2 back doors, but not really
Joseph
much going.
Decides not to continue.
That's reasonable on this board.
Yep. Ken just checks it back, and now Batiste picks up the clubs.
Definitely time to bet.
No way Ken is folding to 1 bet. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think Ken's going to fold on the river no matter what the card is.
I don't know. The king or ace of clubs he might fold.
Maybe.
But not too many cards. That is a no-brainer. Easy call unless Batiste size is huge again.
600. No,
he gives up.
He knows that Ken's a bit of a sticky guy.
Yeah.
Like he's covered in sticky substance.
I don't think people have made a lot of money bluffing Ken WA over there.
No, especially when he's all covered in honey.
What?
He's sticky.
Oh. What?
He's all sticky.
Yeah.
Like honey is sticky.
He's a sticky player.
And a sticky man.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've been so far off the rails this particular episode. It's been great. May it never end.
Been a diaspora of an episode.
That is not used with purpose and used incorrectly.
But it was better than what you did.
You challenged me to do something. I did it, and then you're critical of it. It's classic Grant. Anyway, here's Laminator.
You didn't do it to my satisfaction. Is that not a reasonable response?
Gave me a challenge. I completed the challenge.
It was a subjective challenge, and I subjectively decided that you did a terrible, awful job.
All right, here we go. We got 2 spades for the VIG.
Lots of spade draws in this episode. What's up with that, man?
This is the, yeah, lots of spade draws. This is like the 4th one in the last 6 hands or 8 hands where we've had spade draws on the flop.
Some sort of conspiracy.
And it comes in.
Yep. Queen Jack.
Laminator better not hit a king of not spades on the river.
He better not.
He doesn't. It's going to just go bet fold here.
Yeah, there's no way Vig's getting any sort of value here.
I like that check by Laminator when the ace comes. It's not crazy to bet because it's an ace, but a bunch of draws come in too. 4-5 comes in. All the ace gut shots come in. Spades, of course, come in.
Vadim, I thought it was
Oh, Mr. Wick. I found your daughter. Does he have a daughter?
No.
What kind of land?
He has a dog.
I found your snake.
I found your ferret, Mr. Wick. Shit all over my carpet, by the way.
I'm gonna need carpet cleaning.
I'm gonna
bill you.
I'm gonna need one of those gold coins you pay for everything. You know, a cab ride and a 10-week stay at the frickin' Colonial. I'm gonna need one of those gold coins to pay for my carpet. Mr. Wick.
What's the Colonial?
That's the hotel where all the killers go, and it's like you're not allowed to kill someone in there.
Oh.
It's like a safe house. And they cost one gold coin because their currency is just those gold coins, and everything costs 1 gold coin no matter what it is.
Makes
it's
sense.
amazing.
It makes sense.
Like I would like a latte with foam. That'll be 1 gold coin. Can I get a Tesla with all the everything's on it? That'll be 2 gold coins, sir. with your latte, of course. Yeah, 2 gold coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Latte sounds good.
I mean, you should get a lot of lattes. You should be like, I'd like a latte for life. Here's my gold coin. And then they kill you because that's the kind of movie it is.
You have it all figured out.
Hope you enjoyed your coffee, sir.
Mr. Wick.
You think people taunt John Wick's dog also? What do you think, Mr. Wick's dog? Like that?
Yeah.
Stop trying to hump my leg, Mr. Wick's dog.
Yeah, well, they kill it.
Joseph is not all in for 4K.
It says all in. It's not
a lie.
True. All
it's
of
a
this
lie.
is a lie.
Jordan is only 25 to call, but everyone else is all in to call.
It makes perfect sense.
There's been a software update, and the guy who did it needs to work on it. Okay, these things are all wrong. Don't worry, it'll get fixed.
Yep, but
Diana.
we do have
Diana.
It's not Diana's fault this time.
We say that, but it probably is.
She did eat all the raisins, though.
Yeah, so good enough. Okay, here we go. It's exciting to watch it get fixed.
I love that.
Ken calls with the 5 deuce and +2. Wow.
Batiste has a much better hand than that. And 5 deuce looking pretty good on this board because it is the
flop.
5 deuce of hearts.
Monster flop.
Joseph is going to bet he has the ace of hearts in his hand.
Batiste may end up folding the best hand here because Ken is not folding right here. That's for sure.
Joseph has 3 backdoors. Isn't that exciting?
That is exciting. Ken could raise, but he chooses to call. For $60 getting this price, it's close.
It's okay just to get rid of it as Batiste.
Especially with 2 blackjacks.
Lot of hairy turn cards.
Yep. I think it's fine. Then that's 2 pair now for Ken.
Well, Joseph does pick up a straight drop.
He's got 3 outs, and 2 of them are live. As you can see, I are a little.
And he might try to bluff hearts on the river because he has the ace of hearts, and we know that wouldn't work.
I would definitely try and bluff hearts on the river.
And Joseph's going to keep going here. He's putting Ken on pretty weak range, I guess.
Ken will often have a pretty weak range here. Not today.
Well, maybe today, but not this hand.
Not right now. Looks like Ken is going for a raise right away. Yep.
That's just going to end things. And I like raising, by the way, when Joseph bets twice, starting with betting into 2 people. I think a raise is good play here.
Also have it's a pretty wet board.
It's a smallish raise.
Is Joseph thinking about sticking around?
He thinks Ken has flush draws.
He does have the ace of hearts, but that doesn't really help him here.
You don't really want the ace of hearts.
Yeah.
You want
the ace of spades.
You want Ken to have the ace of hearts
Yeah.
if you're going to decide to hero.
I like this fold. Ken will raise flops sometimes and sort of get way out of line. Doesn't get so far out of line on turns and rivers with his raises.
And he does show it.
Once in a while he will. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him raise the river with jack and spit. but
You can say shit.
oh, jack and squat.
Good enough. You don't want to offend, everybody.
Yeah, anyone who poos, I don't want to offend.
Yeah, everybody who poos is offended by the word shit.
I don't know. I never really liked the word poo. It's a little too descriptive.
How's it
It
descriptive?
feels gooey.
It feels gooey.
Sounds too much like goo, I guess, and then
All right, that's enough of that.
See, I told you, it's
No,
bad.
it's just weird.
It's bad.
You're bad. Ken is going to raise the jack 8 suited. Batiste really wants to play.
I think you're thinking about 3-betting, but wisely lets it go.
Dan will probably play this one.
Yeah.
He could 3-bet.
I think he is.
Raise 110.
Digital Dan.
Digital Dan.
Attacking the +1 open. Is he just lucky that Ken has jack high? I don't know, but according to our stats, Dan has folded, but that's not true. I'm sure that'll get fixed too. Diana.
Call.
So everyone folds except for Ken. Dan made it 110, as we see.
Somehow Laminator has checked when Ken still has action.
Just don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We know what's really going on here.
Yeah.
Batiste. I don't know. What do you think if Batiste shaved? What would he look like?
If he shaved?
Yeah.
It's always disturbing to see somebody's bare face when you've only known them with a beard. It's always like, what?
Who are you?
What are you, like a newborn baby?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We finally figured it out, and we're going to the flop. And
Dan flops well.
once again a spade draw. What the hell, man? I'm gonna freak out if there's another spade draw.
Ken checks right away. I think Dan should start betting ASAP.
What does that stand for?
As soon as humanly.
Where's the H?
It's a silent H, bro.
Oh, as soon as humanly.
Yeah. And Ken just lets it go.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
It does.
He's got 2 back doors, but
Come on.
yeah, come on.
If you're not going to bet it, you should probably just give up when you've got that hand in that spot.
I swear to John Wick, if there's one more spade draw
What?
on this
What are
thing,
you going to do?
I'm going to freak out, and I don't know what that means yet.
Well, then it's not
I don't know how
saying
that
much.
manifests.
I'm going to do something, and I don't know what that is. Isn't a whole lot of
All right,
like,
there's
I
a
swear to
tiny.
John
I
Wick.
see there's a tiny little pencil on the desk here.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I'm going to attempt to break it, but it might be hard because it's a very short pencil.
Break it off like in your leg. Like stab yourself and then break it off.
I don't.
The way someone break off a key and a key.
I don't choose to do that. I choose to break it a different way.
No, you should do what I said. Here's Tim. We haven't really seen Tim play at
Finally,
all.
he's going to get to play a hand. He's going to make it 30 with 2 8s.
Big lets it go. Laminator with nothing. Joseph with nothing. Stuart can defend this.
He can, and he does.
Yeah.
Sporting that vest. McFly. Bad flop for 8s.
Check.
Not very exciting looking for ace 7 either.
He is going to bet, though.
Says 55.
Sizes it up a bit compared to how the other players tend to size.
Stuart doesn't want anything to do with it. Good news for Stuart is if he somehow is lost at sea, he'll last at least 24 hours without even having to tread water.
It's not a life jacket. I know it looks like it, but it's not.
No, his shoes have little floaties on them.
So, but he'll be like upside down.
Yeah,
That's bad.
he'll be dead.
But you said
he will-
he'll last.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean
he'll last on the top of the ocean floor.
the top of the ocean floor.
Yeah, there's always a top of a floor, isn't there? Of course there is. There's a top and a bottom of everything. That's just philosophy 101.
Philosophy. I believe that was Descartes. Yeah. The
Laminator.
the famous top and bottom. I think, therefore, I am. Also, there's a top and a bottom.
I think therefore I
To
am
everything.
Ridiculous. Just dumb.
Taking a stand against. I think,
I am.
therefore-
I am.
You've always hated solipsism.
You are not just because you think. That's all I'm saying. All right. We got Battle of the Aces here. No one's made an unreasonable decision yet. It's very exciting. No flush draw. Disappointing.
I mean, it has to be a spade draw for me to freak
I
out.
know.
55.
Look, and this is a classic.
Classic
Ken decides to call with just a bad ace.
Backdoor flush draw. And
Somehow,
there it comes.
Ken has all the equity. He doesn't really, of course, but he picks up
He has
significant
25%
equity.
equity. Does that mean all the equity?
He picks up significant equity. He misses, but I think Ken really should be bluffing here, but he's not the kind of guy who bluffs this spot.
No.
Yeah, he checks hoping his ace is good, but it really can't be. King, queen got there. Laminator has to have like king 8,
Yeah,
which he
but-
just doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't really play that hand that much.
Ken is losing to everything. I think he's supposed to bet that river.
Yeah.
He can have queen jack. He can have king queen. He can have 2 pair. I think that's a mistake. If you're going to somehow call, you got to make a play. Must have felt good, though, when that 3 of clubs turned, you know?
It's all about those little moments, right?
Absolutely. That's what life's about.
Life is just a collection of moments, man. And you have to just live it to the fullest.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Those moments, though, can be spread out sometimes. Sometimes, you know, not all collated in one place. A diaspora of moments.
That's better.
Here's Timmer. Or Tim, as people like to call him.
Ace 4 of diamonds. He's just going to muck it. A lot of players would have played that under
Yeah, a lot of players. Especially when everyone's as deep as they are.
The Vig has decided to limp 7-6 off, which is a little bit uncharacteristic.
It's true. Well, you know what we say, as the moon rises and it becomes the witching hour, people's true nature comes out. There goes the Vig, having donated $10.
As the moon rises, the Vig surprises.
Jesus.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. Digital Dan, gonna have to call this one.
I'm going to put that on a Hallmark card. I'm going to get a job writing for Hallmark, and I'm going to put that on all of the cards.
Okay.
And from that, I will become wealthy.
That is how it shall go.
Yes. And we've
Whoa.
got top pair against a set here. This is going to hurt a little bit for Stuart.
Yep.
Ken's going to bet with his set. Makes sense. Or no, he doesn't have the set. He's going to bet with Jack 9. That doesn't make sense. Okay, never
Nope.
mind.
Ken just decided to donk out on this board. In theory, this board is reasonable for his range, but
Well, I think he
it's-
raised initially, didn't he?
no, didn't Stuart raise?
Oh,
Ken raised from the small blind with Jack 9 of diamonds?
I wasn't paying enough attention.
I wasn't either. I was caught up in things. I assumed it was Stuart. Well, either way, Ken's betting. We screwed that one up, people. Sorry, we don't know.
Yeah, our bad.
We're supposed to know that.
Anyway, Digital Dan just calling with a set.
Yep.
Stuart must call here, although it's a little bit uncomfortable with the bet and the call.
But it's a pretty straightforward call, as you're saying. Let's see what we got here. Oh, my goodness. This could get ugly.
Stuart thinks that was a good card. Guess what, buddy?
Well, now he has outs against Digital Dan. Digital Dan, it's time to bet.
You're going to need to call the doc for help again.
Dan checks, giving Stuart a chance to fire away with top 2. What a spot.
Pretty cool spot for a check raise.
Oh, yeah. I got to believe it's incoming.
Stuart loving this spot.
Digital Dan has Stuart pipped. He's got him by 1 rank, but it's an easy check raise all the same. He's basically losing only to 6s. Oh, especially when Ken calls. Big check raise incoming, I got to believe. What do you think?
I think
900?
Yeah, something like 750 to 900.
Could definitely go pretty big here. You got the hearts out there. You got straight draws out there.
He's a little bit afraid of bigger sets. But
Sometimes Stuart has 6s, but that's pretty much it. Especially if Ken was the original raiser.
looks like the raise is coming in, and Stuart probably is starting to feel a little bit less happy about this hand.
900.
Although I don't know if he can consider folding.
There's no way he can consider folding. I don't think.
Dan could have a combo draw here. It would make sense to play a combo draw exactly how he played it.
It's hard to come up with. Is Dan doing this like with a flop 2 pair sometimes, like 6-3 suited?
I doubt it.
That's the only hand I can really think that Dan could show up with here for value that that Stuart's ahead of.
If there weren't 2 hearts on the board. Oh, Ken was just changing.
Ken was
out.
putting in the change.
Okay. If there weren't 2 hearts on the board, I think this might be a consideration of a fold. But because there's a lot of combo draws on the board.
The other thing is Stuart probably is chopping more often than not here, right? Not that that's a great spot, but there is $2,000 in the pot already.
I mean, there's like the same number of combos of 3s and 6s as there are of other Jack 10s. There's 6 of each, so it's not more often than not.
But you may think that sometimes Dan's going to raise the sets on the flop, but not going to be raising the 10s on the flop. So I think that makes it
that's fair.
So that makes it more often than not. But fair enough in terms of the combos. Anyway, here we go. Boy, if there's a brick on this river, Stuart's going to be in a world of pain, an ocean of hurt.
Stuart's got to hope for like the Queen of Hearts. Well,
That would be a
obviously
good
a
card.
Jack or a 10. 7
That's-
of Hearts, that'll probably
That's
save
a
him.
really good
This
card
is
for
probably
him.
going check, check. I would guess this goes check, check 90% of the time.
8-9 comes in, hearts come in. Both are reasonable.
Dan's just got to hope and pray that Stuart has exactly Jack 10.
Check, check.
Stuart checks it right back and knows he's no good, but a little bit lucky he didn't have to make a really tough decision on the river. Dan bets 1,400 on the river on a deuce of clubs or something, a 5 of clubs. I don't know, man.
Just over 14K in the pot. The turn is the 4 of diamonds.
Hey, what is that? Speaking of turn, coming around the mountain, Isn't that the Nitrogen Sports Poker train?
I think they did buy a train recently.
If you listen, you can hear its very familiar jingle. And choo-choo. Wait, there's the jingle. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Wow, that's the weirdest ad ever all of a sudden. Anyway, Nitrogen Sports Poker Room is, they let us do ads like this.
They
Perhaps
do.
because they don't listen to them.
Free reign, baby. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Oh, no. There's 2 overs on.
Well, we're back from the break, and Dan has just won that massive pot from Stuart.
Yeah. He's
You always got me. Sometimes you just let me win because you're
up to stack significantly.
I am digital Dan
I must kill all humans because
of the digital thing. That's good.
that was really good.
Joseph, unknown hand, but he is known for raising from the hijack.
It's true. They call him Raising Hijack Joseph.
Yeah.
He's also known for raising hell.
Yeah. That party's hard.
All right, what do we got here? All diamonds.
Bad flop for Batiste.
Very bad flop for Batiste. Joseph often is going to check here, yeah.
More importantly, no spade draw is possible, so I don't have to freak out.
That card is good for Joseph's range. Certainly better than for Batiste's. I think Batiste either should go for 2 streets or just be planning to check fold. I like check folding on that card for sure. Joseph also is checking back a lot of reasonable hands there on the flop.
It's usually always one of us.
Jacks, maybe even some kings. Batiste is
Batiste's
going for a check raise.
He doesn't believe.
Oh, my.
Joseph's a scary guy to do this against because he will check back flushes on this board.
That said, we probably get enough folds that this is profitable. This is a great... I'm excited that Batiste did this. I don't know if it's going to work. Doesn't look like it is.
I don't know if he has the right hand for it. I mean,
He has no blockers.
Yeah.
That's true. But it's a cool play, and I think it's probably going to work enough to be profitable.
well, he's going to have to follow through if we're
Yeah.
going to have any chance of it working, obviously.
I think it's time to follow through. I think sizing it up is a good idea. Remember how quickly Joseph folded when Batiste bet 300 into 190? I think it's time to do something like that again.
Looks like he's not sizing it up. Oh, maybe he is.
355.
It's about a pot size.
Yep.
About a pot size bet.
I would like to see him even go bigger. I think like 450, but this is at least a pretty big bet, as you're saying. This Joseph
We only
doesn't
got the-
snap call. That's got to feel good.
We only got the split screen for a second, but that was a moment of joy for
It
you,
felt
right?
good. No, it felt really good in my heart. Oh, and
he
Joseph
does call, and
calls.
Batiste is going to have to show the
Nope, he
no
just throws
pair,
it away.
no draw.
Let's see if we can
nothing.
see what Joseph had.
It looks like we're not
We're
going to
never going to know because Joseph just mucks it. So maybe ace jack.
Maybe a king. He checks back kings in spots
Yeah,
like that.
with all the diamonds.
Yeah.
King, queen, something like that. It feels good when you make the tough call and the guy just throws it away instantly. Also, when they just make the face and don't do anything. That's
Yep.
even just when they don't do anything, they just sort of sit there for a little bit. It's great.
Now, quickly, it said Joseph had jack 10, which would have been 2 pair.
Ah, that makes sense too.
I don't know if that's true or not.
If it said it, it's possible,
Yeah.
probable even. And I could see him playing the hand just like that.
Yeah.
Raise 35.
That turn makes it much easier for him to call, actually, too. If you jack 10.
Call. Fold. Call. 3
Well, it's a great flop for Stuart, but
Yep.
he's not going to get any action.
Correct.
Me and Dan is always going on.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Bet
I don't even have to
50.
be
We don't have the
involved, but if I'm at the-
vocabulary test.
There goes 1.
Look how sad Batiste is.
Yeah.
He's a sad man.
He doesn't even look sad. He looks kind of angry.
Angry sad.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. What do you think he looks like when he feels that way and he's chopping onions?
What do you
Yeah.
think he looks like if he feels that way and he shaves his beard?
Oh, God.
A sad little baby boy.
An angry, sad little baby boy. It's like he wanted to play more and you took away his toy. And he's angry and he's sad.
That's exactly what I
And
was.
he's got a very smooth cheek.
Yeah. Precisely.
I didn't even hear what he said. I'm right next to him, dudes.
I can't even imagine how yesterday.
I was going to get him, but I knew I was still thinking.
Pretty bad. Sorry, Aaron.
Joseph's probably going to open this one.
No.
Wow, that's a bit surprising.
I think Joseph is still collecting himself after that last big call from 2 hands ago. But that is surprising.
Batiste could definitely have 3-bet Stewart's open here with King Jack, but it's fine to call as well. Dan with the same hand that Joseph folded.
I forget that there are other
Gonna see a flop. Not too many 10s left in this deck.
There's precisely one.
Somewhere between 0 and 1.
Fake dance.
Top pair for Stewart. Gut shot for Batiste. Nothing at all for Digital Dan. I said top pair, I meant middle pair, of course.
I mean, it feels like top pair because the queen is so unlikely. People don't play any.
No one
hands
has a queen.
queens
Yeah.
in
What
them.
queens do they have?
Yeah.
Batiste taking a shot with his gutter.
55.
Digital Dan's going to release.
I will.
Or is he just asking for a wants a drink?
I'll
Heads up.
participate.
Yeah?
I got one more in.
Yeah.
Not a great card for Batiste to get it through if he keeps betting.
Batiste did just get caught bluffing. We'll see. It could impact his decision here one way or the other.
It could make it less likely that your opponent will think you're bluffing again.
Yep, I was thinking that. You can go either way with that, right? Depending on how many levels you want to go down, right?
Yeah. Batiste does just take the free card, try to hit something, but does not.
I would expect Stewart is going to check one more time here.
Yeah, I don't see any value in betting if you're Stewart.
Let Batiste bluff his Jack 10 or King Jack, whatever he has.
7-8.
7-8, yeah. Batiste doesn't even try. That's a smart move to give up.
Yeah, I think Stewart was calling.
Who goes to school, man?
And Batiste,
Batiste acts like the world just turned against him. I don't know why. I can't believe I didn't get there.
I mean, he's competitive. He struggles with losing. You know?
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah, you're right. But he acts like he's so upset that Stewart like check called once
Yeah.
and then it went check. I mean, like, come on, it's gonna happen a lot. But I love that guy. Don't get me wrong. I love it when he's upset.
It's fun. It's fun when he's upset.
It is. I think I once said about him, he ain't happy unless he's sad or mad or something like that. But I ain't happy unless he's mad either. Joseph, well, we knew he didn't play it last time. He's not gonna play it in a worse position. Good timing for Joseph. And Batiste is, I think he's officially a little off the rails here.
Well, Ken's got aces.
Yep.
And this is, so yeah, it's a little off the rails.
Fold.
I haven't played it in a while. At least 6 or 8 months.
Tim gonna get in the action with the ace jack suited as well. Not gonna go well for him most of the time here.
These guys aren't
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Batiste knows what he's doing.
Batiste is not only on the rails, he's the conductor.
I am really glad that nobody has 2 spades in their hand, or else I'd have to freak out, of course.
Ken has 1 spade in his
So
hand.
if another spade comes on the turn, I'm gonna have to freak out.
So Batiste is going to call. Set the trap.
He could easily raise here.
Of course he could raise, but I think you want to give Tim a chance to come in. Problem, of course, is spades are really bad, but that's a dream turn
It's a
card.
beautiful turn card. Ken's probably gonna bet again.
I think it's time to spring the trap.
Yep. Raise it up.
Don't let another scary card come off. Let's see if Ken's saying he has something. Let's see if he does. Ken's sticky, as we said. Seems like a great time to raise. Ken did not move in. Ken bet, it looks like 85 or 90.
Yep.
Batista's, there's the raise. 300.
85 versus
What will the time vigilante do?
I think it's call or fold. I think it's a really easy call, though. It's a super straightforward call.
Yeah, I mean,
raise all in.
whoa.
He moves in. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
And Batiste insta calls.
There are outs here for Ken. A 6, a deuce, or an ace will do it.
Yep. We will get to see Batiste's face if one of those cards come, and it
Oh,
will be
come on.
glorious.
You're kind of praying for it, aren't you,
It
Jonathan?
will be
You want
glorious.
to see the pain.
But
No,
this time
not
it's a
this
9 of
time.
diamonds. Batiste gets the win.
I guess Ken did that because there are multiple flush draws out there. Still, I don't see a ton of value there. I mean, I think it's pretty clear call and reevaluate on the river.
You can go call with almost any river card, even, but it's gonna be. I think you're gonna make more money doing that than shoving there.
Yep.
12, 55.
We were just bullshitting over here and fucking missed all this shit.
But yeah, Ken puts himself in a spot where by shoving, but I think Batiste is comfortably folding top pair and calling as we see with 2 pair.
If he somehow had king X of diamonds, he probably would have called. Batiste.
He might not have raised that though.
Yeah, he might not have.
When Ken bets again. I don't think he would have though. Like Batiste only made it 300. Ken shoved for like 1.2
Yeah, that's true.
or something like that. I think Batiste just has to throw it away.
Unless it's ace king of diamonds, maybe.
Okay. But he's going to 3-bet that so much of
Yeah.
the time pre.
Yeah.
It's almost never going to have that hand. Especially Batiste, who loves to 3-bet, you know.
He does, yet he
So-
decided just to take a flop with the king 7. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, and man, did that board just worked out, and everything worked out perfectly in that hand.
And now Batiste is less sad, which means Jonathan is less happy.
I'm more sad. Yeah. We're basically perfectly balanced at all times. If Batista's super upset, I'm super happy. But vice versa. Ken right back on the horse.
1-1. So by Jonathan's math, Ken's doing fine.
By my math, just by math. Don't say my math as if like I have different math than anyone else. We're all
don't
using
you
we're all
want
using the same numbers.
Don't you want to be considered special for how good you are at that math?
I am considered special. Boy, you know, it's interesting. We got drunk corner on one side. The other side is sort of fashion corner where we've got flannel, Jean Genie, and the Marty McFly life vest thing going on. I mean, it's pretty whack. And then what do we got in the middle there?
It's pretty whack.
It's pretty whack. Look at these guys.
In the middle, we've got the cleric and the John Wick villain.
Yeah, and I guess Batiste again.
Yeah, a little bit more Gene Man. And he's playing all the hands. And it looks like Ken's a little off the rails himself.
Yeah. Well, it worked so well for him last time, I guess. He's like, well, this is basically the same hand. Why not take another shot at Ken?
Although he doesn't have as much to win anymore because he took most of it.
Yeah, Ken only with 390.
And that's a really good flop for Laminator.
Monster.
Ken's probably going to lose the rest of his chips here because Laminator's probably going to raise and Ken's going to get it in and usually lose because he has 6% equity.
Laminator's going to just call, and Ken may be let off the hook here. This is such a good spot for Laminator to raise.
Yeah, it really is.
Laminator picks up nothing. Extra outs.
He picks up nothing.
Ken checks. I'm really surprised Ken checked there. That feels like such a good card for him to barrel.
And
everybody misses.
Is Laminator?
Ken does not even try. Doesn't matter what Laminator does. He's going to win this pot. Unless Ken is check raising all in, which Laminator puts in a bet there. Ken lets it go.
Laminator tried to let Ken win that hand.
They both just gave up on that hand. I mean, I guess Laminator bet the river, so that's not really fair. But
I really didn't like the way Laminator played that hand.
No, I agree. That's with Ken's stack. It's such an easy raise on the flop, and it turns out he almost certainly would have gotten all of it had he done so.
Yeah.
But if not, if Ken folds, that's fine too. You got king high.
You drinking tonight?
It's hard to flop a combo draw with 2 overs. Put some money in.
Pretty glorious.
Yeah.
So nice just to flop a big combo draw in a big spot, you know.
Yeah, and you're just
and then someone raises you and you've got fold equity and you can move, you can re-raise and it's okay whatever they do.
It's just one of those spots where you can't make a mistake by putting more chips in the pot. It feels good.
Yeah.
Tim's going to limp the ace-4 suited under the gun, or +1.
But Digital Dan says, not on my watch. No, you didn't say the magic word.
No, he says, not on my watch. You didn't say the magic word.
Laminator, though, decides to put some weatherproofing on that raise and take it down all by himself here.
With an unknown hand that he's showing to Dan, but
I'm going to guess it was queens. It looked like there was paint in there. Since he showed it, it's a big pocket pair. I'm just declaring that.
All right. Laminator had queens.
That was a nice job with the Digital Dan impression, by the way. It sounded a lot like him.
It sounds exactly. That's how he talks.
I'm saying. I don't know why you're offended by me saying it sounds a lot like him. I'm giving you a compliment and you're upset.
Dan called me up the other day. He was like, "Hello, friend number 271.
I am not a robot, of course. I am human, as you are.
I was just calling to say hello.
Also wondering if you had nuclear codes."
Yeah, exactly. That's how the conversation went.
Stuart getting in on the King 7 of Hearts action.
He saw how well it worked for Batiste.
I mean, he's on the button, and it's a limp pot. It's not crazy. So often, though, you do that, and then someone pops it, and you just feel dumb. You're like, fine, there's the $10. I don't care about my life. Top pair for Stuart. Gut shots for the Vig and Laminator. Open ender for Batiste, and a pair for Ken. Everyone's got a little something.
I loved that summary that you just did.
Thanks. And is everyone going to call? Absolutely.
The Vig does have the ace of diamonds to go with his gut shot.
7.
King 7.
There's Stuart. Batiste bets $10.
That's weird.
Trying to get there as cheap as possible. Laminator with the call. I don't think Stuart can allow
should
this.
not allow this.
There's no way. This feels like a super easy raise to 120.
McFly's got to grab that guitar and play it like it's
That's
1985, even though the people aren't ready for it yet.
Your kids are going to love this. 150, yeah. And that's effectively just going to end this hand. But I like that Stuart's protecting his equity here. Especially on, look how wet this board is.
He can get
So
action from
dynamic.
worse hands still, which
He
is
can.
which is good too.
He can. He won't, but he can. Down goes Batiste. There's no way these gut shots are calling.
Trying to laminate Stuart with his eyes there.
That'd be cool if he just had laminator vision. Lamination vision. Superman has X-ray vision, but this is way more useful.
Yeah, he can laminate
It's like,
stuff.
I have a library card. I mean, who cares if you can see through it? I don't have to worry about it, getting a rip.
Well, now you can just have a digital library card on your telephone. Welcome to the year 2010.
It's true. And how wonderful. But the truth is, who goes to libraries anymore? I download that stuff from the library. I don't have to go to the library. That stuff's online, brah. True.
Yes,
That's true.
it is true.
You know who told me about that? Digital Dan.
He was like, "You should enter your ID number into my database. This is a library. It is not a surveillance situation. Please give me your social security number and blood type."
Of course, I will not be voting for the president pretending to be you.
What? I didn't get that part.
He's, stealing your vote, man.
Oh, I get it now.
There you go.
All right, so Ken,
Wins.
yes. It's crazy how sometimes we finish each other's.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's happened at least once where I've eaten part of a sandwich and given you the rest.
In fact, that has. I can think of times when we have, having known each other now for a solid 8 years, right? We spent a lot of time together playing poker, talking about poker,
Eating sandwiches.
making videos about poker. Eating sandwiches. I can think of a time I gave you half my sandwich, and vice versa. So yeah,
Sounds nice. Sandwich.
I'd love a good baguette.
I feel like Stuart would not give me half of his sandwich.
Are you kidding? That guy needs every calorie he can get.
It's true.
Now, don't think I'm picking on Stuart. Wonka, who's not playing today, has at one point was trying to get me and Stuart to fight so he could bet on it because he thought it was so close. Stuart was sure he would win, but I don't think so, Stuart. I'm wily. Anyway.
Stuart's got a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he has a lot of confidence. A little too much. Batiste with top pair. We got some queens out there for Stuart and Tim. That's it.
But he should bet here.
He does.
Might get called by Stuart.
Someone's going to call him.
Tim probably should fold with so many players behind.
Agreed. He does. Stuart's definitely going to call. It's crazy. We can predict the future.
Which is weird because we got Marty McFly in the hand. He can't even predict it even though he can go there.
He went to the past.
He went both.
Eventually.
He also went to the Wild West in his least exciting adventure.
I don't know. The second one wasn't very good either. All right. So Tim would have got there with Queen 7, but whatever. Batiste probably should go for value here. In fact, I think he definitely should.
Yeah, something like 150.
I don't know if Stuart's going to call.
It's Batiste, so he might.
Yep. Batiste can have draws that
he
miss.
goes real small. Looks like 75.
Oh, he's trying to make it so a queen or even a bad king is going to feel obligated to call. Stuart doesn't really have any bad kings, though.
Stuart does block a lot of Batiste's two-pair hands and flushes. Maybe he could turn this hand into a raise if he thinks that this is just too clearly value-y.
Good point, actually. This may play better as a raise than as a call.
Especially when Batiste sizes like this.
Yeah, it's such a tiny sizing.
It's like, it looks so much like a weak king. And
That said, Stuart is getting... I mean, Stuart effectively has 1 pip worse than Batiste's hand because he's never opening king 9 in the hijack. So, I guess he can have better queens. Ace queen? Yeah, I guess he can have ace queen there. So 2 pips down. So I can understand why he calls. He's maybe just good enough. Maybe Batiste has a worse queen sometimes and plays it like
I
this.
don't think so.
Maybe.
I think Batiste checks back.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's betting king 10, he's trying to get value from a queen anyway.
Yeah, but what queens is he getting value from? If
Yeah,
Batiste has a
he's
worse
gonna
queen?
have like queen 9. I guess.
I don't think Batiste plays a worse queen like that.
Maybe
I
you're
think
right.
that's a raise or a fold when Batiste sizes it like that, unless you get more evidence of Batiste sizing like that in other situations.
At least Suro is getting a good price.
Yeah.
Stuart,
Did he just say drag jack?
Yes, he's officially a big O player.
I did not think that through. At least spit in there, you know?
End him.
Oh, you guys are laughing at something else.
Yeah.
Sounds like an inappropriate discussion is going on here.
It's about time.
Teach me about human sexuality. This is what Dan is saying.
Top pair for the vig. Middle pair for Digital Dan. That's all we got. We got backdoor spades for Batiste, though. Of course, backdoor straight as well. Always a spade will come here. We know this.
Yep, see?
I'm betrayed. Betrayed.
I'm betrayed.
Batiste now betting his 9-6, just taking a shot in the dark. I don't think it's going to get through top pair, though.
And he bet more than he meant. Look at him. He's
he bet more than pot. It's actually a tough spot now for the vig. When the ace comes, especially, I think this is going to work out somehow.
Yeah.
It's going to miracle work out for Batiste. Well, we'll see, though. I kill your dog.
I'll get you next time, Mr. Wick.
I missed the bet.